Do we need more deeper thought? Myth number 9, that if I'm Muslim, that's all that matters. Hence, you see a lot of brothers, they'll try to propose to a sister, they'll go to the wali after like 5,000 chats with the sister. Then they finally go to the wali, they just figured it out right now, that his daughter's been talking to some guy for the last 10 years. And then you were done. Now, I got issues with the walis as well. Wali is like the father of, of this girl, basically like, do whatever you want. This guy shows up later, I've been talking to your daughter for the last 10 years. We've been going steady, now I'm married. So, father rejects the guy, obviously he's not going to be seduced like and so on. So then the brother responds thinking that the only ingredient that matters is my deen. And I'm here to tell you that no, that's not all that matters. There are other factors, and I'll bring up some of the other factors, inshallah ta'ala, but deen is not all that matters. I just want to say that everyone. What are you talking about? I'm talking about inshallah, in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Islam, that's great, but you also have to have quwwah, which is strength. Quwwah is strength, and that strength is going to be your ability to provide for this girl. And one of the examples of how you prove your strength is with the dowry. So with the dowry. Right from the very beginning, that's something Islam commands. You don't get married without a dowry. And the woman might say, let's bypass the dowry. No, I'm like, this is what I would do for the dowry. If somebody comes, I would say, how much can you afford? They'll say, I can afford maybe $1,000. I'd say, make it $5,000. Because I want to push and stress this person so that he understands that this is a responsibility. You have to have strength coming into the marriage, and the parents have different ways of judging what the strength of this potential spouse is. And the brother thinking that it's just all about deen is mistaken. It's about strength. That's what matters. And they might call it with terms that kind of like are offensive. You have to be a doctor, stuff like that. Ultimately, what they're saying is that we need you to be a man who has strength. Myth number 8. Her wali, you guys know what a wali is? Basically, the father of the bride or something like that. Her wali hates me, but she wants me, therefore I should bypass the wali and get married in Vegas or something like that. See, the wali, man to man, men don't get seduced by other men. Inshallah. Okay, so a man doesn't get seduced by another man, hence this person is like, hey, to the sister, yes, for the father, he's not playing that game, right? He doesn't go on your Facebook and check your profile out and who you're talking, stuff like that. You're going to have to come with your credentials to the father, and just because the father doesn't like you, I would actually, if you're in a position like that, father doesn't like you, try to find out what it is that the father wants. Now, maybe, it might not work out in that relationship right there, but find out in that the father's looking for somebody of strength and stability. That's what they're looking for. Strength and stability. And maybe there's some other issues in there, but once you come with the strength and deen and good character and all of those things, inshallah ta'ala, I'll give you I was going to say the magic 4, but I won't call it magic. I'll give you the 4 things that you need to work on, inshallah ta'ala, and you'll get bride of your dreams, inshallah. Number 7, if I listen to everything she wants and do everything she says, she'll be happy. I'll add the words, she'll finally be happy. This is a brother, he was, in all this marriage talk and stuff like that, and you always wonder why males, females are always having trouble in their marriages. So one brother said, when I get married, I'm going to have no trouble. I said, how is that so? He said that I'm just going to let her decide on everything. And I'll let her, whatever she says, yes, no. In other words, what is he saying? He's saying, I will take a permanent backseat in this relationship. Is that going to make your sister happy? To have a guy that just keeps saying, yes, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Whatever. Obviously, there's no attraction in that. There's no attraction for a man. In other words, this is, and I was telling some people that, I could write a book on the tricks of this. You've got to determine what she wants without asking her. Right? And if you ask her, that just ruins the whole thing. So you say to your wife, well, what would you like for dinner? She She don't want that. You've got to decide. This is where we're going. This is what you're going to do. Now, you may be right, you may be wrong. You got a 50% chance, right? But that's what you got to do. Now, of course, it would be a lot easier if she told you. But that's leadership from the front. Right? You just tell them, I want this. Yeah, that'll work. She doesn't want that position. And the men that are kind of forcing the women into that position, it's not going to work. So you just got to decide. You'll be right from the top or wrong. But realize, for the brothers and sisters, when you do get married, when you are wrong, realize it wasn't your fault. You were leading from the front, messed up, no problem. I will do better next time, inshallah. Better yet, take note of what you need. What does she like in her boyfriend? Okay. Myth number 6. Brothers want a woman who looks like al-hur al-ain. But when they find her, they'll realize she's looking for a prophet. Some brothers, this is one of the things that, just sucks about university. That everybody sits around spending all their university years talking about who they want to get married. Do you agree? University? It's a waste of time. So, and I just get tired of the same old, what do you want to make? She has to have this, have that. I tell the brother, well, why don't you just get a haircut and go find that woman, right? The brother's like, no, this is the type of woman that I want, and she has to have this, this, and that, right? So usually the brothers, okay, they'll put it. Where do they get this model of who they want to get married to? They look on TV. They're watching LBC. You guys know LBC? It's the Lebanese channel. So in Arab countries, LBC, right? Maybe they don't have the same standards for modesty on TV as with other channels. LBC is like straight out Lebanese women all the time. So the men are always like, well, I want to marry a Lebanese woman. The Arab countries, they're looking to marry a Lebanese woman. They're looking, because that's what they see on TV. Even in this society, interestingly, it's like, okay, it's the blonde hair, blue eyes, that kind of thing. People have a model of what they're looking for, and they just keep talking about it. But instead, you need to look at who do you want to marry, and then put yourself in their shoes. What are they looking for in a husband? And then become that person who will attract, because like attracts like. Number 5, what are we on? Okay, number 5, yeah. Number 5 myth. If she doesn't have deen, she can change later. If she doesn't have deen, she can change later. And sisters are all the same thing. It's like, okay, he's messed up, he's on drugs right now, but he'll change later. And the actuality is, this one's for the brothers. Maybe she will change, but she'll never change at your hands. That's for sure. If you go to your wife and say, I think you should change. You should fix yourself. Right? She's like, oh, please give me books and encourage me to. It's not happening. You've got to get a third party involved. Like a mother that's And will men change? You know what? They might. I actually think, what's awesome is that sometimes, I'm involved with like personal development, working on, people developing themselves, and a lot of brothers kind of like give us a culture. I don't need to develop myself. I'm great as it is right now, right? They give us a cold shoulder, and I'm like, well, that's fine. I go, you'll get married soon. Your wife will deal with you. And the work that I would do, I tell the brother, come to us. We'll fix you before you get married. If you're not fixed, your wife's going to fix you. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed women with, I just use this as an analogy, antennas. That they can send every lie to the man. Even if it's in its heel, right? The Achilles heel. Even if it's that small, she knows where it's lying. And that's something really beautiful and such a great relationship that the men have. That type of a relationship where they can't get away with the lies. Yeah, at work, at school, they can pretend like they're macho and they're great and stuff like that. They come home, women will bring them back down to earth. A lot of the men might not understand what's happening. They can't change themselves. They can't develop themselves